apple cider vinegar concoction. Alright, slightly different angle, new trees. Oh yeah, I wasn't gonna play this. This is my thumb piano that I bought in Chicago after our friend Micah from Breathe Owl Breathe came to our house, and he had his with him, his kalimba, and he wrote a song with me on the piano. Well, I was on piano, he was on this thing, and he kept using it in very creative ways, and it was very inspiring. And let's see, that was January of 2018, and I think I've shared this in other videos. My life was feeling very much kind of like frozen, on hold. There we go. I'll play while I talk. My life was feeling very much on hold, and my heart was very frozen. I had a lot of trauma things that were going on, and the world is still very traumatizing right now, but I don't feel as much personal trauma or as much personal blockage as I've felt in the past. And so that's a big deal for me. As painful as it is to live in the current world with so many things out there right now to make us almost intentionally afraid. It almost seems like with the news cycle leading up to an election year, almost distracting us from the fact that we're in an election year. I mean, who knows what the purpose of modern media is, but I have opinions, but I don't feel like my role in the world is to share those. I don't know, maybe it is sometimes. So anyway, where was I going with that? Oh, because my heart used to be frozen. Well, my heart was frozen, but like more than my heart was frozen. Like a lot of me was frozen. It was this feeling of like, I wish I could even explain it. I can't explain it. I would say in 2016, I had experiences where I realized my entire being was frozen, and I felt like things that I had read in books about different types of wisdom in the world had imparted all this wisdom to me about the idea of like our soul can actually like be outside of our body, and like we're not even experiencing our own lives. Oh, so close. And so, you know, I healed a lot of the major stuff that made me feel like my soul was now in my body, and writing a song every day in 2017 definitely helped with that, and just being public about it really helped with that. It made me feel like a person, like I was alive, like I was real, like I wasn't a figment of my own imagination or someone else's, like I didn't have to follow all the rules, like the rules didn't apply to me, and I wasn't breaking them in some sort of way that was a problem for others, so I was just being some sort of weird anomaly, and it was helpful. But then I found last year, in 2019, I really found that even though other parts of me had gotten unblocked, that my heart was still really blocked. And so when I started to loosen that and soften that, and a lot of that began to heal, I ended up with a lot of other feelings too. Anger, frustration, sort of at a lost life, at situations that had caused me to feel like my only response that I could give was to kind of freeze myself, because there were too many conflicting messages. I don't remember why I got on that subject. Thank you. You too. Have a good one. Bye. I almost pointed the phone at them again. They're just very sweet. I don't remember where I was going with this. Something about modern life, some pianos. Oh, so back in 2018 of January, when I made that song with Micah, that was halfway through a period of my life where I kind of froze myself. I wasn't meaning to, but I was in so much pain all the time and trying to decide what to do with my life, and then I kind of froze myself to kind of sit still and see if staying here could be an option while Brian was building his resume and doing other things. And so that's roughly like February of 2016 till, I believe, I think it was February of 2020. So that's like 4 years of kind of having a frozen feeling heart. And I think it's complicated because other parts of me like have been kind of frozen for much of my adult life, but that was sort of an intentional sort of time freezing feeling. And so I was going to say, when I picked this up and I started this video, that for the first time since I don't know when, I'm able to say a date like that, January of 2018, and not feel like it's close to now at all. But historically, whenever I was talking about these dates, 2017 with the 365 songs, or 2018 when I got more involved with people and did like the friendships, or tried to collaborate, or did more festivals or shows and tried to be involved, in 2019 when I tried to do a lot more before kind of coming down and getting more introverted, or at least wanting to, but still finishing up a lot of projects. All of those busy things, it's like if I were in 2019 and I started talking about 2017, I almost felt like there was no point to even say the date, because they all felt like they were yesterday or a week ago. Like, that's how frozen I felt. And maybe a lot of it's just literally the presidency and what's going on in the world, but I do not feel frozen anymore, and that's still the president, and we're in as much chaos as ever. So I think it was more my intention. It's like something in my brain that decided to freeze my own dreaming mind, freeze my own ability to always feel like I'm moving forward. Something in me decided to freeze that. And so what I think is weird is that I ended up doing more than ever. I ended up booking more shows than ever, writing more albums, writing more songs than ever. Like, I was just doing so much than I ever had. Not that I currently am, but I was doing so much, but I wasn't feeling it in a lot of ways. I mean, I was some of it, but I don't know. Maybe this is normal. Maybe this is not. I have no idea. Hi. So anyway, I think that's something humans can do. I think that it's a little bit of like a survival mode. I think that it's a kind of way to pause and analyze and take stock. But now that I feel very unfrozen, and I feel like I'm making choices, I'm living in a time in history where I feel like it's so easy to make the wrong choice, support the wrong team, promote the wrong thing, like yourself. I mean, I'm not even trying to promote myself. I hope everyone understands that. Like, I don't think I'm going to be some sort of big thing. I'm just still existing and taking up space, even though there's a lot of movements that maybe would argue, I don't know, whatever. I take up a lot of space, but I also promote a lot of people, and I also, promote anything I believe in. So shame doesn't work for me, so I can't feel bad about how much I exist, because we're all existing and hiding. I don't know. I think it's the core of a lot of mental unwellness, is hiding or feeling like we have to hide. Like, we're living in a world where it's just so easy to end up feeling guilty, I think. Or so easy to end up feeling like there's no place for our voices. There's no purpose for our voices. Or there's no purpose for our insights or our beliefs or our thoughts or our considerations or our questions. It's just so easy to feel like there's no room for us to exist in this very loud, media-driven, conflict-driven, division-driven, opinions-driven, but pretending it's news. I mean, it's just, there's not room for us to be complicated people anymore, and yet clearly we all still are. Clearly we all still have a super insanely wide variety of opinions that are not just two sides of one argument. Like, that's just not true. And you may fall more on one side than the other, maybe even extremely so. And I probably do. It's probably obvious, but that doesn't mean that we're not complicated people with complicated views and feelings. And that's something that is almost purposely being turned against us, I feel. So, I don't know. I love my family, my friends. I love people who have a lot of different beliefs, whether or not I resonate most with people who are more similar to me. But I was born into a family where there was nobody exactly like me. There was nobody needing to go off and write all the time, or kind of have this secret, private, inner world. Not my brother, not my sister, neither of them, not even slightly. The closest was my dad. But he gave his up. It was like his writing was more intentional than mine, it seemed. And he kind of walked away from it. When I was in 8th grade, he sent a bunch of original songs down to Nashville. Well, all over, actually. He had one of those songwriter books, and he sent his tapes all over. And he got like 2 responses, and mostly no responses. And it was really painful for him. So, I don't know if that's why he quit songwriting. He later wrote musicals, like after I went to grad school. He tried doing that. He's very creative, and he does like going off by himself. I guess I'm like him. I've probably said that before. Uh-oh, Brian's done. I never made a song. I am making up a song about things. I am making up a song about things. I don't know why I said uh-oh. He'll wait. He doesn't care. People are all the same, and how we all are different from the thing we think we are, or most like. People are all the same, and how we are all so very different from each other in such different ways. And I'm amazed at how we forget this. Amazed at how we forget to remember all the ways we're so different from each other, all the way, all the ways, all the ways we're so the same in how we're different, so different. The same in how we're different, so different, different, the same. Alright, that was a song written on the kalimba. It's a scale. It goes upward. It goes left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. So Anyway, that's my life. Yeah. Hope you have a lovely day. I'm gonna go for a lunch date now. Bye!